Welcome back, everyone, as we learn the Mishna Yomis for the last day, Achron Shel Pesach, sponsored by the Fisher family, Linishus Bas Robert, Shlomo ben Avram Alevi, whose Yotzeit is tonight, the 26th Yotzeit, Perel Bas Ruven, and Neshama should have an Aliyah. We also are sponsored Linishmas Elchanan Bunim ben Naftali Benish, Elimelech ben Eliezer, Lefu Shalem, and for Yomis ben Chayesara, and for Schus of Avram Yom Benish ben Malk Yudis and family, by Yol Klugman and family, Lefu Shalem, for Esther Fradel Bas Chana, and Meir ben Chayesara. We start the 7th parak of Masechtas Nazir. This is very interesting. Two people cannot be contaminated even to their 7 closest relatives if they die loyalenu. Kohen Gadol, the high priest, and a Nazir. Eina metamin b'kroveim. They can't even be metami to their closest relatives, to any of the 7 closest relatives. However, they are metame if they find a meis mitzvah, somebody that doesn't have who to bury them. Aval metamin l'meis mitzvah. They do become tamei if they find someone who doesn't have anybody to bury them. Now, who comes first? If a Kohen Gadol and a Nazir finds a meis mitzvah, who should become tamei? And they find a meis mitzvah. Rebbe Eliezer, yitame Kohen Gadol, let the Kohen Gadol become tamei. Va'al yitame Nazir. You know, the Chacham say no. Yitame Nazir, let the Nazir become tamei. Va'al yitame Kohen Gadol, and not the Kohen Gadol. Now, what's the reason of Rebbe Eliezer? Amalem Rebbe Eliezer, Yitame Kohen, let the Kohen Gadol become Tamei, because if he becomes Tamei, he doesn't bring karbanos, he doesn't bring an asham, a guilt offering. Sheini maybe carbon al Tamasi. Val Yitame Nazir, rather than the Nazir, Shehu maybe carbon al Tamasi. He has to bring an asham. So you see, it's a more grievous sin. Amrulai, they said to him, the Chacham said to him, to the contrary, Yitame Nazir, let the Nazir become Tamei, because his status is only temporary, for 30 days. She'en Kedusha, say Kedushas Olam. It's not a permanent Kedusha. V'al Yitame Kohen, let not the Kohen Gadol become Tamei. She Kedusha, say Kedushas Olam. His Kedusha is permanent. Now, remember I told you all the way in the beginning of this Masechta, that although one goes into a cemetery and might become tamei, that doesn't mean that he, as a Nazir, he has to shave. The Mishnah tells us that what type of tumah does a Nazir have to shave. Al elu tumas ha-Nazir megaleach, he has to shave, and he loses the days that he counted al ames, if he comes in contact with a corpse. Va'al kezayis min ames, or an olive-sized piece of a corpse. Val kezayis netzel. Netzel is a volume of an olive of fluid that oozed out of a mace. Val maloi tarvid rekev, or a ladle full of decomposed mace. Al shidra, or the spinal column of a mace. Val gulgolis, or the skull of a mace. Val eva min a mace, or a whole limb of the mace. Val eva min a chai, or a limb of a living person that was detached from the body, sheyesh alav basar karai, that has enough flesh upon it that if it was attached, if the flesh would grow back and regenerate. Val chatzi kav atzamas, a half a kav of bones of a mace. Val chatzi loig dam, a half a lug of blood from a mace. Now all of these are matame in 3 ways. Al magan, if you touch them, Val masan, if you carry them, or Val holon, or if you're under the same roof as them. Val etzem kesaira, a bone of a mace the size of a barley corn. There, it's only al mago, Val maso, upon contact or carrying it, but not under the same roof. Al elu ha-Nazir megaleach, on these a Nazir has to shave. Umazeh b'shlishi uvashvi, and then he has to have the azah on the 3rd and the 7th day with the Meichatas, v'soiser es ha-koidmin, and he loses the days that he counted. V'einoi mascha limnois, he doesn't start to count el ad sheyitar, until the 7th day brings him tara and goes to the mikvah, and he waits to have erev shemesh. Then on the 8th day, umevi es karbonosav, he brings his oshin and his karbonos, and then he could start counting again his naziris. It's really, really wonderful to spend a full night right after Pesach with you. I want to remind you that tomorrow Daf starts at 8:20. and it will be a hard daf, so come well rested, and then after that we will have the Chumash here on Achrei Mais. Thank you very much for joining us, and have a guten Isru Chag and a guten Zimmer.